So good that I have some small pieces here because I don't have the flip. So welcome. Before I start this presentation, I'd like to inform you about that there is a conference, MSPA Latin America conference here in, what's the name of the hotel? Marina Las Condes. On Thursday. So if you want to know more about mystery shopping and meet other companies working with mystery shopping, you just talk to Andrea and sign up for the Thursday conference. Yes, I have been in mystery shopping business for 19 years, so I think I know this business quite a lot. I also started the European chapter of MSPA. The MSPA started in North America in 1997. And we started in Europe in 2001. Also, I have an academy with training for mystery shopping providers, which also includes other speakers that are very, very knowledgeable about mystery shopping all over the world. So we can give seminars in any country, in not any language, but in most languages, and also in Spanish and Portuguese. Since when I started mystery shopping, many companies did not know what this is, and they didn't know that it was possible to actually use in their industry, in their companies. So that's why I started writing books about mystery shopping, and I'll tell you more about the books later on. Now they are available in 18 languages. So I will talk a bit about mystery shopping and MSPA, and the difference between market research and mystery shopping. How many of you are performing mystery shopping on a continuously, regularly in your company? So maybe half of them. And how many are buying the service, buying mystery shopping services? A couple, yeah. I will go into the methods a bit, and also what is it's important to get a successful mystery shopping program. And at the end, I will tell you a bit about the trends I see and the new things that we see in the market right now. We see mystery shopping as a tool for development. Some companies think that mystery shopping is a way of getting people that do something wrong, that do things wrong with money in the cash register, or take money from products from the company. But that kind of assignment we are not doing at all in my company. We would recommend a security company. In the US, they have private investigators doing those kind of assignments. We only work with assignments where we are actually helping the companies to measure how activities in marketing, operations procedures, in employees, to get feedback, individual feedback for each employee or for groups of employees, so that they can develop in their work. And also to give a tool for the management, so that the management can have a feedback based on real objective data. And of course, in the end, everything is with the goal of achieving a higher customer service, better profit in the company. MSPA, as I mentioned, started in North America, has now also a chapter in Europe. We started in 2001, Asia Pacific a couple of years later, and in Latin America just a couple of years ago. Each region has their conference, once in a year. So this year it's here, and last year it was in Buenos Aires, Rio, and then Buenos Aires, and Sao Paulo before that. So you have these conferences also in your region if you want to join next year. It's not really decided where it will be next year, but it will be here in Latin America also. The difference between mystery shopping and market research, of course you know that already. Maybe you have thought about this very, very many times before, but I'll just go through the list because I often meet market research companies that really don't understand that mystery shopping is very different to market research. First of all, the companies that use our company for mystery shopping, they want to have one report for each unit every time, not just a sample of the units that are included in the chain. Every unit wants to have their report. And also the management wants to have the benchmarking for each of the units. That's why every shop needs to be measured. And not only shops, of course. Mystery shopping can be used in just any industry. You just have to have the right scenario and shopper profile and really measure the customer interaction in a relevant way. The shopper, of course, knows the questions before, so that's why the shopper can memorize, but also note many more details than a regular customer can answer after a visit. Objective tags instead of subjective. In mystery shopping, we don't ask, how did you feel on a scale? We have very limited questions that really measure how was this perceived. Did you get a smile or not? Did you get a greeting or not? What did they offer you? What add-on sales suggestion did the salesperson mention? And so on. An identification of the people is possible in mystery shopping. That's not common in market research. And the reason why we want to identify employees is if the company really wants to give the coaching on individual level, or actually give incentives to the employees that really did something really good. So that's why many companies are identifying employees. And mystery shopping is not a statistical tool, you know that. Unless you do it like in market research with a big sample and you really do it like a mystery, with the method of mystery shopping, but as market research. Normally, when you do visits, one visit to each unit is very, very few visits, and you cannot say that this is how this shop always looks like. This was the temperature at this day, this time. It's not a statistical tool. It's more to measure and to develop and to give feedback. In mystery shopping, it's very, very common with quick reporting. 24 hours is really most common to be able. Most mystery shopping companies can do mystery shopping reports within 24 hours. Some do reporting in real time. So that actually the shopper reports from the visit on a phone or text message or SMS or email or on an app. The checklist survey form can be on an app that can be responded directly as the customer interaction is going on. So the real-time reporting has been for a long time in mystery shopping. Not many companies want that, have wanted that before, but we see now that many more companies want to have quicker and quicker reporting. And of course, in market research, you know how the reporting times are. It's different. There are several methods of mystery shopping, and of course, you recognize all of these. Maybe video, audio is very common in some countries. In some countries, it's not allowed. In some companies, mystery shopping providers don't want to do that because it's the risk of having trouble with the union and legislation. So many mystery shopping companies don't do video, but they want to partner with other companies that are specialists in video. So there are some companies that are really specialists in only video. And when I say video in mystery shopping, it's not the glasses where you can actually see the video. It's video that is so small so you can't see it. It's on a button or on a mic or on the glasses that are really hidden. So video in mystery shopping can be really, really effective, but it's expensive and many companies don't do it. And that's maybe the reason why it's so expensive. Recording telephone calls is also very, very common. And online forums, of course, internet evaluations of websites, evaluation of how the response time is when you fill out a form online on a website, when you pass a question on Twitter, or the other social media that companies have, the opportunity for customers to post messages. I just saw, was it last week, that American Airlines are responding to tweets about customer complaints within 12 minutes in average. That's quite quick, 12 minutes. And of course, all these interactions can be measured also with mystery shopping. Delivery and return process. It's very expensive for online retailers to handle the shipping, the returns, and that's also something that is very interesting to measure with mystery shopping, how they can improve. We do sometimes mystery shop visits where, like in hotels, the visit is a mystery shop visit until after checkout. Then the shopper presents him or herself to the management and wants to have a meeting, present the results, and give the feedback in person right away. The impression they have from the visit they just did, and then they go home to write the report. So the big report comes a couple of days later, but the quick feedback can be given right away. All of the shops, the methods can also be used for competitors, and we have some companies where we do, they have the measurement of their goals, their unit scores, the average for the company, and the average for the competitors. So it's measured every time. Every month they get a report for the units. They can also see the comparison with the competitors. Some companies, we don't do that so much, but in the US I think it's quite common. Some companies give incentives, or the shopper gives an incentive. If they get the right suggestion for buying, suggesting the shopper to buy this product, which they really want, then the shopper gives an incentive right away. It can be a gift card or something to really give the right away incentive, so it really feels that this is really something they did very good. For a company that starts working with mystery shopping, it's really important to decide what is really the goal with this program, so that the design of the checklist, the survey form, the guidelines, and everything can be really adjusted for the right need. And also so that they give, it's important that they give the information to their employees, that there will be mystery shoppers visiting their unit. We also recommend employees to be involved in the development of the checklist, so the employees can participate in really pulling out the things that we think is important in our company. That can actually be as a development process for the company, to have employees involved in what is really important in our company. And coaching, of course, when the companies get the results, if they don't use the reports, just put them in a drawer, then nothing will happen. Companies need to use the results to give coaching to the companies that, or the units or the employees that need to be trained and to increase their scores, and also to learn from the companies that really do the best, that are the good examples. And if they don't do the action plans, workshops, and work with development, then they could just waste the money on something else. So that's really the most important. I don't go into this list of what is important for the mystery shopping provider, because this you can hear on Thursday if you want. So we take the next slide. This is the tools that, of course, is used today, mobile, video, and so on. But if we look at the next slide, this is the trends I see today. Mobile is really number one. Everything is on mobile, and everyone wants to use the mobile. The shoppers want to use the mobile to report. The clients want to use the mobile to view the reports. So that's really important. Social media, as I mentioned, both for measuring and also we use the social media also to promote the good examples. Geo-tagging of verification photos, so that when you look at the report afterwards, you can really trust that this was taken at the right place, the right time. Smaller cameras, smaller, shorter checklists, faster reporting, that's the trend we see. And action plans that can be triggered by the results on the scores. So we can actually measure if the scores were down on certain areas, then there can be an action plan sent to the responsible person right away, depending on the scores. And that can be instantly, as soon as the report is submitted. And then some companies also integrate the mystery shopping scores in balanced scorecards for their other surveys. That's also very common today. I see my time is out.
Thank you very much.